again, all right. So again, I don't like the Zilean pick because even though H2K has a lot of burst-oriented champions, Kog'Maw is not burst-oriented, and Kog'Maw is going to be the front of their team. So I don't think that there's enough utility that is actually going to come out of Zilean. Even though he's a really good champion, I don't think he's going to be able to showcase his brokenness, at least against this team comp. So if we talk about the win conditions, they do have a win condition via split push. They can definitely split push bot lane, which is going to be really painful for H2K. So they have a few win conditions. One is a split push. Another win condition is going to be a poke on the backs of Baron. They definitely also benefit from Herald. I would argue a little bit more than H2K does. H2K's win conditions are going to be getting Vitality to commit to fights and engagements in condensed areas and basically just winning with a Baron Kog'Maw. Alternatively, given their champions early on relative to scaling, they can also create a win condition by stacking up dragons and then, creating an insurance policy inside of Dragon as well as Kog'Maw. So that's really, really good. However, they have, what do they have? They have Malphite and they have Cog, and I am pretty sure Malphite's W makes him deal magic damage. I don't think it has anything to do with armor. And then the fact that he'll have the Cinder, or you can assume that he'll have Sunder. I think that Banner of Command is really good from Vitality. However, they don't really have anything for Zizirot Portal, so don't expect to see that this game, but definitely Banner of Command could come out. So that's really good. Okay. Okay. Thunderlords. I don't like Thunderlords on Zilean. I mean, obviously he has a very easy way to proc it, but I think that you can be better off with Storm, or is it Storm Raider's Surge or something, where you get the movement speed. I think the movement speed's really nice, because then it enables him to basically cast W on someone else temporarily. And I think if there's any other argument for another whatchamacallit, what is it? What are those things called? Keystone, right? Keystone Masteries. It's gonna be Deathfire, but I don't like Thunderlords. So they opt for a lane swap, and this is good because Kog'Maw benefits from it, and so does Malphite. Although if they could have had a way to not need to do a lane swap, like if it wasn't Malphite against Graves, if it was some other champion that could go toe to toe with Graves, then Kog'Maw would probably benefit more from being in the bottom lane. For all the reasons that we listed before about the insurance policy on Dragon, but also just because it would grant him a lot of safety being red side Kog'Maw, and it would provide a lot of it would basically also provide a lot of utility for the jungler. Oh. Okay. Did Forgiven just miss one CS? Is he having an off day? Forgiven missed one? No. Okay. And yep, Jankos is basically just protecting Forgiven and Revander in top, so this is pretty good. And now, yeah, Ryu is safe to just play left center or west centric on the left hand side of the lane. He's really safe there. Nukeduck can't get a kill because he has cleanse. I don't think that running cleanse is really necessary. Even though Lysandra can lock you up, I think that you can easily play the lane in a way that would enable you to just get away from using using your ultimate, and I think you could have ran teleport or ignite, but maybe that's not the case. I think it's pretty thin, but you can't really ever get a kill, so Ryu's able to play a little bit more greedy than he should be allowed to, and the teleport doesn't really compromise him at all in this laning phase. So it's pretty nice. And they don't even really need to go for ganks, because you can only basically cleanse one of the CCs. So when you're facing an Elise or a Lysandra, I don't think that you have to do anything. Okay, well, this is already, like, destruction. Like, what, like... Forgiven is so far ahead. See, that teleport on that minion there just to get that 1 CS? I don't know if I totally like that. I feel like there wasn't enough intel on the right-hand side. So, even though Kog'Maw's winning in top, Malphite, you know, is losing a little bit more than I thought that he should. It's not totally bad. I think after he CS's all of that, I think he's only down like 10 or 11. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more CSing out of him. Oh, he was down 16 after that wave. Okay. Because of who their jungler is, the wards that H2K has right now in top lane makes them virtually safe against Shook. At least at this level. So now, because they're completely safe on the west-hand side and Lysandra's relatively safe, I think that now Elise can just devote to farm protecting Malphite. And now that I think that she can synergize a gank timing with Malphite's level 6. And Shook is trying to go top lane, but that doesn't really do anything. And I think Forgiven and Vander realize that what just happened is Elise was on the right-hand side of the map, and there's no sign of Nidalee, so they know that Nidalee must be west-centric right now. And it's a little bit bizarre that Zilean just went and he warded the left side, which doesn't make any sense because you know that Elise can't be on the left-hand side. You know that Elise has to be in bottom. So this is what we're talking about. This is a synergized gank with Malphite level 6, and he should just end up dying here. I don't like the fact that that Jankos wasn't in spider form, because I think if he's in spider form, he could have approached that a little bit sooner, and then I think it's easy for him to net, a kill there, to be completely honest. Maybe Graves escapes. Maybe Graves escapes, but I think that's fine. You end up just trading Malphite's ultimate for Graves' flash, so that means that he's basically open to getting killed as soon as that ultimate comes up again. And the problem is that Vitality doesn't have any insurance on that. They don't really have anything that they can do against it, because their top lane was getting, or their bot lane in top was getting crushed so badly that they can't really do any sort of reswap or anything. All right, and then this is relatively safe. Nidalee can't really come on the left-hand side because there's no chance of you killing them unless Bard has 6. If Bard has 6, then you do have a chance to kill them, assuming that Bard can hit his ultimate. And that's the only way that Nidalee is ever gonna be able to gap close or anything. Now they should know that that Elise is here, because Elise doesn't have any business being on the right-hand side, and you see that Lysandra's not doing anything to manipulate the minion wave relative to her blue buff coming up. So you should be able to assume, for the most part, that Elise is in top. That was a really nice stun by Kasing. Okay. Yeah. It was good. That was good. I think that there's a lot of variables that they weren't considering and that they weren't putting into play. So H2K could have used Vitality definitely can use no information as information. And then I think H2K isn't considering the things that we just talked about, to know that there's a high chance that Vitality is able to counter gank there or counter, What? I don't understand how he just died. He's not supposed to get a kill, but I mean, is there a replay? They just said that there should be a replay. So they're trying to get a replay up of it. We have to see what the hell just happened. They're zooming on Zillion, so I assume that they're going to show a replay in a second, maybe when he finished recalling or something. It'd be really nice to get a replay up right now when there's so many people recalling. This would be a really good timing. Okay, and now they reinitiate the line swap, and I don't think it actually has to do with the fact that the tower was killed. I think regardless of if the tower is killed or not, I think that you can just safely rotate down 3 people and have Nidalee join. And then you try to seize bot tower, have control or vision control over H2K's blue, and then you can collapse and get Dragon. Because Malphite still doesn't have teleport, so it's basically should be able to go uncontested. Now remember though, H2K has the Kog'Maw comp, so, and they also have a Malphite, so they're supposed to fall behind early. So it's not. Oh, okay. I thought it was stolen. It's not the end of the world that they're not, they're not ahead right now. And also a 2k gold deficit at this point is not that bad, because the towers are going to create an illusion in the sense that, yes, Vitality is ahead, but it's not like they're really ahead because it's going to be easy for them to take top tower because Kog'Maw and Thresh were really pummeling them early on. Okay, so here's the replay. He shouldn't... Okay, that was really well played. Nukeduck has done these plays, like he also did it against Selfie, Lulu versus Lissandra. He's hit the perfect damage, like, twice now. Like, the only 2 times that I've watched Vitality, he's done it, and it's amazing. He ends up trading. That's not very good. Oh, okay, what's going on? You know what I'd like to see out of Shook? I'd like to see Banner of Command out of Shook. I think you can go Banner of Command on Shook here. Or you could even probably go Banner of Command on Zillion. I don't think it hurts either one, but I would prefer more so to see it out of Shook. I don't think you need to devote those resources to Bard getting Banner of Command. So, okay, now they're 3,000 gold behind it. We're approaching 12 minutes, but I still don't think it's the end of the world. Although, no one's really making any use of Dragon, so I doubt that there's going to be a Dragon insurance policy. Because let's say that H2K gets Dragon right now. They're still probably 30 to, like, 35 minutes out from being able to make use of it. So, that's not really going to, do anything. Okay, Ryu ends up getting away. And now, off of that, I think that you can know that Ryu's going to recall, so I think what you should do is you should just put 3 people in mid lane and demand Elise to appear. And even if Elise appears, I don't think that she has any ability to sort of, to resist a tower siege. So I think that you could have actually just brought down mid tower, and if you bring down mid tower right there, Zillion doesn't need to recall. You could have easily just... united with Corki and bot lane and secured the dragon. And there's really nothing that you get punished for, because Lyssandra's not going to be capable of freezing the lane in mid, and even if she does, it's irrelevant, because then at that point you do need a recall on Nukeduck. The only argument could be that they might get a little bit of control in bot lane on Kog'Maw, which would be very good for Kog. But it's not the end of the world. And then on top of that, you knew that Malphite doesn't have a teleport, so nothing really matters. So this is really good by Vitality right now. But again, it's not over. You have that 30-minute insurance policy on Kog'Maw. Thresh should not be in bot lane. He shouldn't be protecting Forgiven right now. I think that Kog'Maw is relatively safe with the wards that they have, and also factoring in that there's no incentive for anyone on Vitality to go down to bot lane, because there's nothing to be gained by going into bot lane. What I would have liked to have seen, though, is that knowing that Thresh and Kog'Maw were down there, I think that Vitality should have taken the opportunity to get Rift Herald. I think this is a very easy Rift Herald timing. Malphite should lock the lane in top, and then you should end up actually throwing Kog'Maw in that lane and keep Malphite in bottom lane. And the reason that you want to do that is because Vitality does have Rift Herald timing, whereas they don't have Dragon timing. And if you do want to contest the Rift Herald, you have Malphite having teleport, and you want Kog'Maw to be in position for that. He pulls out just in time. I have to check Twitch chat because I already know. Yeah, they were. Pulls out just in time. Malphite can't lock the lane with a Sunfire cape, but he can CS it slowly using spells until the point where all the minions get low, and then he can just kill it. But it would be better having him bot lane than having him top. He can lock the lane in top for about 2 waves, though, depending on how big the minion wave is, if we're just talking hypothetics. Okay. The little penguin following Bard is so cute. Lissandra shouldn't push this wave. Lissandra should have let the wave get to the tower and then given the gold to Corki. Lissandra's irrelevant. Lissandra's basically just a CC bot, and her damage is basically going to be negligible. When you already factor in that Zilean has an Abyssal Scepter and Graves has a Maw. And it looks like Kasing is, well, I don't know. See, like, I don't think Kasing needs to actually complete into the next item. I think someone, whether it's Nidalee or whether it's Kasing, you need to get Banner of Command. I mean, Zilean can get it in some cases. I don't think it's the worst buy on Zilean. But someone needs to get Banner of Command because there's no way. Ryu is really mad right now about that. Okay. Oh, and Kasing will meet the true death. And that is probably going to be... Oh, I don't know. Get that tower. No. No. No, 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 no. Come on. They should have gotten that tower and then flanked Graves and have someone teleport on top tower. And even though he can make it out through the red side jungle, you can easily just have like 2 people walk up through river and 1 person walk up through jungle. I think that would have actually been fine. And then concede your mid-tier 1 tower and then use the time. Because your mid-tier 1 is just a pawn at this point. It has no impact over if you're going to win or lose the game. They should just completely give it up. And then if you do that, and then if you got Rift Herald and then you recalled inside of Rift Herald's pit, you then unite in mid lane. You keep 1 person in top lane that has the teleport. You have them push out top lane. Unite is 4, shove back mid, regain control over Baron, teleport in accordingly. And then with Rift Herald, you either do a dragon dance and you basically... you coerce Vitality to get everyone inside of Dragon, give up Dragon, and then push in mid and lock them out of mid, unite with the person in top lane again with the Rift Herald, and you trade 2 towers and 4 minion lanes for Dragon, and then your bot lane is looking beautiful for you. And I don't think the Vitality has an answer to that, and I think that's very fucking close to a checkmate rotation that I think H2K could have orchestrated if they saw it in time, but it's fine. I need to get a monster. I will be right back. I hope I don't miss anything. Okay. Okay. So I ended up getting dragon, but it's not the end of the world. Although it is starting to add up. I mean, they could, in theory, have a 15 or well, in 15 minutes they could be knocking on the door of the the game ender. Exodia, the Forbidden One. So anyways, about the gold leads, H2K is ahead right now. It's 33,000 for H2K. Vitality is at 35.8. So H2K is really far ahead, actually. It's not even just like a small lead. So this is a very bad position for Vitality. Especially because what's going to happen is they're going to complete all of their next core items in the next 1.5 to 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, and when that happens, it's still not enough to give them an edge inside of the team fight. And now with Dragon being down, the only neutral objective that's going to be contested upon is going to be Baron. And we already talked about how H2K has a pretty good door opener on Baron. So it's not the greatest of positions to be in for Vitality. Yes, I understand that 36k is more than 34k, but the point is that Vitality has to be about 5 to 6k ahead in gold of H2K right now just to be considered slightly ahead. 5k would probably make them 5k would actually probably make them even. Anything 4900 and under is probably going to make them behind, in all seriousness. The Hex Drinker, again, I don't totally get it. I think that QSS would be better. Oh! I didn't know that was the interaction. I don't agree with that Malphite ultimate. And this is going to be the game ending. Okay, well, that was just a really poorly done fight. Nice. This is really nice proactiveness. I really like how fast they just beeline to the tower. It really shows that their shot caller or shot calls coming out from whoever is really on top of what they're doing, because that's the immediate correct call. I think what they should do now, however, is they should have escorted this next minion wave to the tower, worked down through H2K's red side jungle, and cleared out vision control before recalling. I think that would have been the more optimal play, because you know that they can't just go for a blitz on Baron. So that would be fine. I think that would have been a lot better. And then you need to recall in phases. So like recall phase 1 is going to be whoever needs to recall immediately, and then recall phase 2 is still going to have the job of trying to clear out any sort of vision around Baron if you still can. I think that would be better. See, that ulti right there, that's a total tunnel vision, I feel. You can't do stuff like that. You need to go for multi-man ultimates when you factor in Zilean. Because we even see, though, that Zilean's ultimate doesn't really do anything. It does something in this fight, but I think that's more so because of Malphite's error, not Zilean, the Zilean effect coming into play. So it's important to, point that out. Also, I think that H2K's response should have been that even though Vitality made the correct response in sending everyone to top lane immediately, I think they could have refined it a little bit better by sending someone to mid immediately, because H2K's response in that situation should actually be to immediately send one person to mid, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to get forked. And what we talked about Vitality's ability to move down through the red side jungle of H2K, it would ultimately fork H2K. And so you could have prevented yourself from getting forked. And then if they went for the ability to fork you with a 4-man, and then you sent someone to shove the mid lane, you actually reduced the damage. You did damage control, and you end up creating a lot better of a situation for yourself. So here we go. We're approaching on the 30-minute mark for Kog'Maw. This is Ryu's first blue. I don't even know if you actually need to give it to Ryu, in all seriousness. And I'm not saying that because he's not doing well or anything, but I think that the blue could have been... Actually, I think the blue would be better on Malphite, in all seriousness. I don't think that Graves should be shoving out this lane in bottom. I think that they're already in position to have control over the straight, and they easily can gain control over Dragon ultimately, securing it. And then I think if that's the case, then you just want to lock bottom in, considering that you already have teleport up. So then you can lock bottom, and you can slow push or glacier it, depending on what you want to do. And then from there, you just establish Baron control while having negated one of H2K's income lanes. H2K is only a little bit ahead right now. H2K is only very slightly ahead. I think the first dragon, I think they actually need to get it, because I think its gold value is just really high right now. So I think H2K needs to just get one dragon. Honestly, Elise could go and solo it. I don't think that they would actually lose out on anything if Elise just soloed it. Or they could just get it right now. Is there a banner of command yet? I hope that is going to be a banner of command coming out of Kissing. I would have liked to have seen it actually prioritized earlier, or prioritized sooner. Okay, Dragon 3 for Vitality. There was no reason for that. I don't understand why H2K's macro game is plummeting so badly the longer the game goes. Usually it's like 30 minutes to like 50 minutes where you begin to see teams fall apart macro wise. Not just teams, but the much better teams begin to fall off around this time. It's really interesting. Kasing's orange upgrade on the boots. What is that called? Command? Is that called like Siege Commander or something? Or I don't know what it's called. Captain? Okay. Captain boots. Okay. So this is the problem, is Vitality has to find a window of opportunity. I don't know if that... Oh! Shook might go down. It's over, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over. Come on. Why? Why was the priority Graves? Graves was already dead. I guess he already ulted, but would he really blow someone up if you didn't do that? I don't think so. I think killing Nidalee would have been way better there. This is it. So this is the problem that we talked about in Champ Select, right? Alright, well. Jankos doesn't want to ride that lantern. You know what I'm saying. And I really like that H2K is just backing off and they're not trying to overextend or do anything off of Graves' death. They got his teleport, and now having his teleport and having the fact that it seems like the bot lane is going to... Yeah, the bot lane will shove in favor of Vitality, which is going to be in favor of H2K, because that means that Graves can't make any use of it. So that's really, really good. And so now when you have that, and you also have the dual teleport, play coming in, because Lissandra has teleport and obviously Zillion doesn't, it benefits H2K much more in a macro sense now. So I think that H2K now can just continue to just stall, and eventually if now Kog'Maw's already in effect, but what's going to happen is that at the 40 to 44 minute mark or so, Kog'Maw is just going to be fucking Exodia in himself, he's going to be Exodia in himself, and that's just going to be game over. So basically there's a ticking time bomb on H2K right now. This is sort of like Kale used to be in season 4. Yep. This is going to be a game. Now they just need to keep them from getting into mid, take mid tower number 1. And then after, what you could... Well, I think they could have had Ryu walk down to bot lane first before he recalls, and he could have shoved that wave in too. I think that's a very small refinement that they could have done. Because Ryu would be getting there about now, and he would be killing the wave. And if that's the case, they can't really do anything, because his recall is going to go off, and he has teleport as well. So if they try to blitz a Baron, I think nothing ends up happening. And if that's the case, then top lane is going to shove into H2K, which is what they want off of the recalls, because then it's basically an ATM that they can just make use of. They can't let this next dragon go to Vitality, because that's way too much of an insurance policy. Why? You don't need to do stuff like this, H2K. They did not need to do that at all. There's no reason to do that. If they lose Dragon 2, H2K might have just thrown the game. I think that this was a really poor decision. Or Vitality might have just won the game. Yeah, this was a really poor decision by H2K. Like, Ryu teleporting back doesn't do anything because he doesn't offer enough. The death cap on him, I think, is also irrelevant. It would just be way better having Zanya's on him. His damage is completely negligible against their items. It's a really poor choice to build death cap. Just have Zanya's Hourglass. At least in this situation. If Graves didn't have Maw of Malmortis, or if Zilean was being really greedy and didn't have Abyssal Scepter and he just had, like, Void Staff, then it would be different. And also, Banner of Command is out in Force now, so this is the thing that we were talking about. I don't know in what lane it's at. Oh my god, top lane. That's really, really bad for H2K. Because there's no way for them to make use of it. So that's just going to be a nice, hefty gold allocation for Vitality, depending on who wants to make use of it. I think Corki should probably be the one to make use of it. That way he can just complete into his defensive stats. I don't think that Nidalee or Zilean need anything. And I also don't think that giving the gold to Bard is going to do anything yet. And Graves is already really big as it is. So I think, okay, well, they're giving it to Graves. I disagree with that. I think that the gold should have been given to Corki, because he's the one that needs to complete the defensive stat, because he's going to be the front end of, well, not the front end. He's going to be the front damage dealer of the fight, when you consider that Graves is probably going to go down much sooner than him, and Corki is going to be relatively more safe than Graves, almost in every single fight. Vitality is ahead, but it's able to just go away in the blink of an eye. If somehow H2K can win the next team fight, and if they can take Dragon, then H2K is really, really, really far ahead, because that timing window just goes completely out the door, and H2K is going to be more than able to take on Vitality at the next fight. Blade of the Ruin King. I think that's interesting. By Forgiven. Okay. You can't mirror mana on Cog. He would go way too fast. And you can't build Essence Reaver on him, so it doesn't make any point. It doesn't make any sense. The next dragon decides the game. Whatever happens with this dragon makes or breaks the game. If H2K gets it, they're really, really, really far ahead. If Vitality secure it, it could be the game ender. Like, H2K falls so far behind. If Vitality gets it, and somehow H2K wins the fight, H2K is ahead, but they're not so far ahead. But like, you have to factor in that H2K, they need that dragon. There is so much damage that comes from that dragon that is, well, not so much, but it's a considerable amount. It definitely can influence fights. Alright, here we go. Dragon coming up in a minute and a half. Is H2K looking to take a fight before the dragon? That's a very big coin flip. Although the death timers, I don't think, would take them out of getting the dragon in the event that they would have one more chance if the fight goes wrong. But if the fight happens in about 20 seconds, yes, it takes them out from getting the dragon. Oh my god! Holy. Wow. They need Dragon. They need it so bad. That was such a crucial... I wish I could watch that again. Hopefully there's going to be a replay so that I... Oh, wow. Okay, and they got the cleanse out of Nuke Duck. This is really, really, really big. One thing that you have to remember, though, is the only person that has flash now is going to be Vander, and that's still really, really big because he can flash box in the game-deciding fight. And if he flash boxes, depending on the location, and there's no cleanse or anything, it can be really bad. He missed the cocoon. Oh, if he hits the cocoon, this fight is so easy. Oh, that sucks. That sucks so bad. That Shook got away. Shook shouldn't have gotten away. Okay, so here comes the game-ending fight. This is going to be it. In 10 seconds, whoever wins this wins the game, probably. Oh my god! Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Here it is. It's for all the marbles. They have Exodia. They got Exodia, but it's like, I don't think it does enough because, yeah, whatchamacallit, Shook is, oh, wow. That 5th dragon movement speed is really showing itself. Can they catch her? Oh my god, she's just gonna play like Ring Around the Rosie. Oh, can they get Dragon? Or Barret? Oh my god. Oh, this is the most frustrating thing in the world. Alright, they're just going for the Baron. Watch him steal the Baron too. Oh, this would be the worst way to win the game. Or to lose the game. Oh my god, they don't know that she's there. Oh, Ryu got shook. That's it, now just get the Baron and you win. Get the Baron and you win. Get the Baron and you win. Okay. Vander missed the hook. Oh, is Cabochard gonna... Oh. That was really... I think that... Okay, so Cabochard really misjudged his damage output there, and also Kog'Maw's lifesteal. I think that was what was going on there, because I think he thought that he could blow him up. So here, let's see this again. This teleport coming in is like the nuts. And then Corki... Did he Valkyrie late? I feel like that. I mean, the Valkyrie probably doesn't do anything, but he doesn't have any spells, so he's never getting out of there. And Zilean is completely out of position. There's no reason to be doing this. They easily could have been positioning, like, right around here, where you just saw, you know, to the right of Wraiths. Like, all of them should have just been there, because then it's really safe. And then as long as you control the straight entry into Dragon and the brush that leads from H2K's side into the river, that would have been fine. There was no reason for Zilean to be all the way over on the right-hand side. This is pretty good. This game is fun to watch. This one is not dull. Okay, so now H2K is just going for the game-ending push. And this is what we talked about as one of the win conditions. Kog'Maw on the backs of Baron, and Kog'Maw has hit, you know, game-ending mode. I'm unsure what his... I guess he's building... What does that pickaxe build into? I don't know what he's going to build into. I would have liked to have seen a defensive item actually come out of Cog here. Or like a pseudo-defensive item. Scimitar can be okay. Okay, yeah, he does end up getting Scimitar. Scimitar is okay. I think an option for another item, given Vitality's team comp, however, is probably going to be... actually, they have Bard. I guess Scimitar is probably going to be better in most cases. I would argue, though, that one of the other items that he actually could get that's really fucking strange is definitely going to be, like, Frozen Mallet. I don't think he needs Last Whisper in this situation ever. So, that's fine. Vitality's only job to come back is to actually concede mid-inhibitor and then fight for the next dragon. They need to completely concede mid-inhibitor, and they need to just prevent any of the minion waves from reaching the Nexus, and they also need to concede their bottom tier 2 tower, and they only need to actually fight for contention over their top tier 2 tower, if ever, because the angles are going to support them if they defend on the top tier 2 instead of the bot tier 2. Because their bot tier 2 is completely irrelevant, because it enables them to have a lane walk up and lock in a more ideal position. and it would prevent H2K from being able to make any use of that. So everything on Vitality hinders on the ability to control the next dragon fight. So they're not completely out of the game yet, but I would give H2K a huge lead right now. I think rather than have Elise go damage, I think getting one defensive item like Guardian Angel, I think that would actually no, Guardian Angel Thresh if he could have afforded it. I think that would be really cute if he can somehow get to GA. I mean, he can't. So realistically, we're just talking about Guardian Angel going up on Elise. I don't think Thresh can ever get to GA here. Guardian Angel doesn't make any sense on Malphite, unless you're going to sell the Sunfire Cape, which you could do. He could sell the Sunfire Cape and get Guardian Angel. And now he ends up swapping out his boots, which I think is a really wise decision, because basically he's only going to be sticking around in fights via his Q and via his R. So I think that's a good decision by Odoamne. Here we go, 5th Dragon coming up again. They really need this, H2K. Oh, because, it's a 5th Dragon that's going to give them so many damage stats, especially with how much AP Elise has. Or how much AP Elise has. Kog'Maw could sell boots, I think, to get Triforce. If he really wanted to. I think he can sell boots to get Triforce. And that is going to be all she wrote. I think that should be game, because the death timer makes it so Kasing can't get up, and then he did end up using... They just used summoner spells, and H2K didn't use any summoner spells, so I think the game is all but over now. Closing it out should be relatively easy. Here's the situation where I would like to see like a Guardian Angel come out of Thresh, in all seriousness. And I think if the game would go that long, Thresh having a Guardian Angel would be so big, because it would open up so many more windows for Vander. The problem is he's a little bit limited on slots right now. But now, see, I don't like the Bracer. I don't like the Righteous. I like the Righteous isn't necessarily bad. But I don't think it's needed at this point in time, given how you can assume that the lanes are going to play out in terms of, like how you push and how the sieges commence and everything else. Okay. Okay. This is it. This is gonna... Oh. Okay. Okay. That was a Bard ultimate, though. It does come up really fast, but still, there it does open up a short timing window. And also, Ignite Zone was coming up again, so that's pretty big. But Nidalee and Corki is still no flash, so those are the most important things that you have to take into account. That's it. That is game over. Kog'Maw is here. Wow. What? Why did they do that? They didn't need to keep chasing. That was a guaranteed Baron. Okay, so the problems that they're having is at this point they're not taking the angled fights properly. So one thing that they can do, even though I still don't think that it's correct, is they can get Righteous, and Righteous can probably enable them to work against this. Now, one thing they have to consider... Oh no. No remake. Uh-oh. Oh god. Wait. He's talking during a pause. Isn't that not allowed? Or maybe they were told they can talk. What if water was code term for something? What you don't know that, right? What if water means, hey, can you please do this for me? You know what I mean? Collusion. All right. Here we go. I'm assuming that the pause is coming to an end. I like how he's still moving his mouse and stuff. That's pretty good. That's actually something that you should do when the game is paused. You should keep your fingers nimble and active. You shouldn't ever slow down or anything. All right. Players are back in. Here we go. Oh no. Oh. Oh my god. If you replay this situation like 100 times, I'm pretty sure H2K loses like 70 of them. That was so close. Wow. Wow. Now I think they can just recall and they can Baron. I'm pretty sure it's a recall into Baron. The problem is, though, is if they don't secure the Baron, is you're going to be facing a Zilean and a Corki flash, and that's pretty big. Oh, mother of God. I'm pretty sure Lysandra can actually sell her boots for Ludens, if she really wants. Okay. That was like a Hail Mary. Alright, and now Vitality is going to blitz down mid. I think this is the correct decision. No, I think you concede Baron and you blitz down mid and get the inhibitor, and then you fight for the 5th dragon. Oh my god! There's no Corki. Oh. Wow, they actually got them off Baron. This is such a nail biter. Wow. Small macro errors coming out of H2K, like super micro decisions, are ending up costing them the game. Malphite's still here. Papa Malphite is still lurking in the woods. Alright, it's technically not over yet. Technically. I would have actually preferred if Vitality blitzed mid and they took the inhibitor. I think that would be like, you know, I mean, I can give an analogy, but maybe it wouldn't make sense to a lot of people or enough people. This is really interesting. So this is the problem, is what they could do is Vitality technically doesn't need to tunnel in on the 5th dragon. They already raised towers so fast. So when you factor that in, I think they could force H2K to go into dragon as 5, and then they could blitz up mid. And if they blitz up mid, they take the inhibitor, and then they take top tower, because I think that they can actually raise top tower fast enough as 5. And then you factor in that H2K can't really commit onto a fight because Lysandra didn't have teleport, and who's really going to stay behind and help kill the dragon. I think you can get the top tower, move through red jungle, and clear out the vision. And I think that doing that, threatening checkmate, if H2K botches the Baron fight, I think is huge. I think that would actually be better than this. See, like this right here. You can easily just give up control of this and run up mid lane. I'm pretty sure. This I think is a very standard fork. He doesn't have a very good... I would have preferred to have seen him teleport in from behind if he could have. Oh, it goes to H2K. See, I don't like these things. I think these are very, very bizarre. Oh, that wasn't a ward. Okay, that was a blue trinket thing. So he couldn't teleport in from behind. All right. Now they're trying to blitz down Baron. They do have the 4th dragon, so this is a fine play. All right, now all they need to do is just disengage. Yep, and there's Zilean altering the terrain. H2K is such a beautiful champion. Or Zilean's such a beautiful champion. H2K probably hate him right now. Okay, so now they have the Baron, but the Baron doesn't really do anything. It just sort of prevents H2K's win condition at this point in time. Because now we're at a point where the fights win the game, although there were still ways that Vitality could have maneuvered a victory out of lanes. I don't think that that's what they need to do anymore, and I also think the timing window for it is gone, at least for the next 5 minutes or so. He still doesn't... See... Well, no, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I think Elise should just get GA. I don't understand what she's building as her final item. I think GA would be a lot better. COG could sell for Triforce. I'm pretty sure COG can sell for Triforce. And then I think Corki should sell Magic Pen. Maybe Corki should sell Magic Pen for Ludens. Would he? Yeah, I think he gets everything out of it. I think he can sell Magic Pen for Ludens. Graves doesn't have any items. That's completely fine. Nidalee could also sell boots for Ludens. Alright, so here it is. Okay. So Vitality is orchestrating this fine. They could have had Graves in bot lane, and they could have executed a 0-4-1 into a 4-0-1. But now they're adding so much pressure right now. They're cracking under pressure. Really, really nice patience. This is a really nice display of patience, honestly. You know that bot lane's shoving. All they have to do is keep the... Oh, that was... Oh, I feel like that's really thin against the Malphite. Okay. Oh, they can't keep taking this poke, though. They need to just launch. This is what a lot of people end up messing up. They need to launch with this minion wave to add as fodder. But it's too late because Malphite had to back up. They needed this minion wave to go with them to add fodder, basically. It sort of reminds me of like Overlords with Mutalisks in like the endgame ZVZ fight. You would bring in the Mutalisks so that they would eat some of the glaive worms. That's like the only out that they have. And now Vitality has the Overlords, so... now it sucks for H2K's Mutalisks. Yes, you would also run Zerglings under Mutalisks for the exact same reason, correct. But more traditionally, it was Overlords. So they need to use the minions the same way that Mutalisks used Overlords. And they're not doing it right now. But this is something that a lot of teams mess up at, so I'm not really, you know, it's not bad that H2K is not doing it. Or maybe they just want to wait for Righteous. Maybe that's what's going on right now, is they're trying to wait on Righteous Glory, on Thresh. But regardless, I think Elise should have had Guardian Angel by now. This is really a test of endurance also at this point. This is where a lot of people would crack because you don't get to practice these games in scrims. I'll tell you what, people just give up mentally and they just, you know, if the staff isn't correct to keep the... I feel like Fnatic wouldn't give up mentally because I think Daylor can keep everyone in check. But I think that a lot of people would give up mentally and just fall to pieces. You know, Forgiven's not falling to pieces. You know, he probably loves this. But a lot of players probably do fall to pieces. So this is truly a test of discipline at this point as well. So there's a lot of factors that you have to entertain when you're just watching this. This is not just a 60-minute dance. This is way more than that. Forgiven's like Michael Myers from the Halloween movies. He like walks to kill you. He doesn't care how long it takes. It's like exciting. Like... Forgiven, got it. The third, I should say oh my god, can they get him? Forgiven. That is it. I was about to say the beast is unleashed and like play the Daigo clip where he parries everything against Chun-Li and then kills her. I think it was Chun-Li, right? He parried everything and then perfectly and then came back. Wow. I'm pretty sure that Thresh should have, if he didn't have the money for boots, he should have sold the money. He should have sold his boots, but gotten tier 1, and... Okay. I gotten tier 1 boots and finished Righteous Glory. Even if he doesn't have boots, he doesn't need... I think the Righteous active would give him the difference, and I think that the active for his teammates would have been much more worthwhile. So I think that's a very greedy decision not to sell his boots to get it. So... Well played. And, you know, there was a lot of decisions that H2K made, particularly around the 40-minute mark that cost them the game. But it was a very fun game to watch, and that was a great way to close out day 1 of week 6. So that was really good.